What's good? All right, so this week, upcoming week, I have a goal this week, and I'm gonna see how this works out, and I'm gonna be posting videos just about every day to share with you if I'm hitting that goal or if I'm not hitting that goal this particular week. Now, my market, I feel like Toledo area is probably the lowest paying market when it comes down to Lyft offers and Uber offers. So this week, what I'm going to be focused on is I'm going to be focused on this right here, the estimated hourly rate. That's what I'm going to be focused on. I'm not going to be focused on this number here. I am not going to be focused on how many minutes. Well, I am going to be focused on minutes. I'm sorry, but and I'm not going to be focused on miles. Okay, so just to make sure that that's clear, my focus is going to be the estimated hourly rate, and my focus is going to be on time. Those are my two focuses. I'm not going to be focused on miles. However, I am going to be focused on the particular area that I'm going to be driving in. I hate when it zooms in like that, especially when I'm trying to make a video. I am going to be focused on what areas that I'm going to be driving in, because I'm not going to be going into Michigan at all. I'm not trying to go on the other side of the water. There it is again. I told you, I swear, I hate when they do that. I'm not going to be focused. I'm not trying to go on this side of the water. And I usually try to stay away from south. Basically, all in all, I try to stay up in this area here. Okay, so, and honestly, it'll be more or less this area. That's where I try to stay in when I'm giving rides, because I know my market and I know where bonuses usually hit. And for me to try to go and to take rides across the bridge where there's hardly any bonuses, south, north, west, east, I know where I need to stay at. And trying to get all happy and too excited and take rides where I know my pickup distance is going to increase on my next ride, it's not going to help me hit my goal. By focusing on the hourly rate, this is going to help me hit my financial goal. And I know what a lot of people are saying. Don't do that. Focus on $2 a mile. Focus on $2 a mile. Well, if you drive in my market, you'll notice that you're rarely going to get that unless you have a bonus hour, or if you have turbo, which they haven't given any drivers in the area turbo. Well, they haven't given me turbo in quite some time. So I can't rely on bonus hours, or I can't rely on bonus hours forever, and I can't rely on turbo or any other type of incentive. I don't chase ride challenges at all. So my main goal is going to be that estimated hourly rate. So this is how I'm going to make it work for me. My minimum daily goal is going to be $260. 260 divided by 12 hours equals $21.66 an hour. Gas, $40 a day, $200 after gas. And then, I'm sorry, it's going to be after gas and $20 spending limit. Okay, that's going to be $200 a day. 30 days, that equals $6,000. Ride minimum, $7.22. Max time between pickup and drop off, 16 minutes, 3 rides per hour, total of 48 minutes with 12 minutes wait time between rides and wait time at pickup. Now, again, I want to show you furthermore on how I'm trying to accomplish this goal. So each day I'm going to start off by, in the calculator, it's going to show 2166 because that is my goal. Whenever I receive a ride request, let's say I receive a ride request and I'm looking at $3.99, which I usually don't take anything under $5 or whatnot. But if it's showing, if the time on the app is showing that the $3.99, or in this case $4.16, is going to allow me to finish that trip in less than 16 minutes, then I know that I can end up doing more trips that particular hour. All right, so it's not just based off of 3. This is less than my 16 minutes. If you look at the estimated trip amount on an hourly, it's showing $21.69, which is over the $21 that I was showing previously. So I can take a trip like this. I don't have to decline this trip because of the estimated hourly rate that is showing on here. So I can take this trip. Do I want to take the trip and it's paying out less than $5? No. And this trip even has a dollar bonus. But my goal is no longer to shoot for a certain percentage per amount per mile, or going off of, well, nope, the pickup distance exceeds the drop off distance and everything and whatnot. I'm not going to focus on that. My goal is to try to focus more on what I'm making on an hourly basis, and if I can hit my hourly goal. And again, most drivers will disagree with this particular method, but at the same time, I'm trying to make money, not sit here and wait 20, 30 minutes for a ride that's paying out what I want it to pay out. Now, again, when I hit my dollar amount, my goal that what I'm trying to make for the month, then I'll worry about going back and doing that. But right now, I'm trying to see if this method is going to work out for me and make sure that I share that with the drivers. So again, a trip like this, I would take the amount that you see right here, the $4.16, and I would just go ahead and subtract it from that hourly amount again. So now I know that my goal is to make $13.51. So, and then I also have to pay attention to the time it's going to take to complete that trip in to make that $13.51. So again, I need to stay within an hour range. So the next trip that I accept from Lyft, that trip has to be accepted to where I can finish it within that hour. And my total amount that I'm going to make in that hour would be the $21.66. Now here's where it's going to kick me in the butt. It's going to kick me in the butt because, as I said before, like that, in this case, that 13 something. Now, oh wow, they showing 12.25 right there if I accept a ride in that area, but I'm too far away from it. But again, I know that in my market, in order for me to get that 13 something, I'm going to have to either get a really good bonus during that hour, or I'm going to end up taking somebody across the border up here into Michigan. Or somebody is going to end up, I'm going to have to take a ride that's going to go too far west, or it's going to have to go too far south or over here on this side of the border. So this is where I may get screwed because of how my market works out. So it doesn't mean that this wouldn't work in some of you other markets out here, some of the other guys with markets they're driving in, whether it's in California, Texas, or New York, or whatever. May not work. But the goal is to make sure, in order for me to make this money, I know I have to stay in areas where I know bonuses are going to fall. Not only that, but it's also imperative to make sure that the hours that I am working, it is during the busy hours. So going on the app and checking the busy hours and making sure that I'm online, those busy hours is imperative to me making my daily goal, my weekly goal, my monthly goal, because they are paying a little bit more and there are more rides during those times. Now, from my experience, Lyft only is showing around about 40 hours a week that are busy hours. Outside of that, the hours it's not that busy, and the amount that they're paying on rides, it goes down. And in some cases, there are less bonuses outside of these busy hours and everything. So I know this is going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to accept some of these rides because I'm basing it off of what my minimum should be on an hourly basis. I am a cherry picker. You can see my hourly here is $31.21. You can see yesterday my hourly was $32.71. Day before that, $35.50. And here you're looking at $34.20. But however, this wasn't every single hour. This is what it averaged out based off of the book hours. It's not based off of the online time or anything like that. And just to prove that I am a cherry picker, because I know some people are out there wondering like, oh, this guy that accepts everything. Well, if that was the case, then for this week, I wouldn't have rejected 84 rides and only completed 44 rides. Last week, I actually rejected 101 rides. And back in December, as you can see here, I rejected a total of 327 rides, and I completed 65 trips. And even though I rejected that many trips, as you can see right now, I'm sitting at a 47% acceptance rate. This is due to when they're offering me bonus hours. I try to make sure that I'm online, and I try to get as many bonus hours rides completed as possible. the higher the bonus hour, the less likely they are going to offer me those bonuses. Now, when you're looking at a bonus hour and they're showing $5, $6, $8 bonus hours, understand what that means. What that means that they've had a lot of people sign up, or a lot of old accounts have logged on checking prices for rides, and they want to make sure that the drivers are available when these people request rides, because they don't want them trying to run over to Uber and see what the prices are, or booking rides through them. You have a very small window to get people's attention when it comes down to which company they're going to go with. Is it going to be Uber or is it going to be Lyft? And so they try to make sure that they set bonus hours to get drivers online during those times. And so it's imperative to try to get on there. When it comes down to me and getting online, the first thing I'm doing every single week is I'm scrolling to the bottom and I'm looking at how many opportunities I have, because I know that the majority of the opportunities are going to be bonus hours, not just people who have scheduled rides. But the majority of what I see in opportunities are going to be the bonus hours. So again, I want to go over and make sure people understand where I'm at when it comes down to this. So minimum daily goal, $260. 260 divided by 12 hours equals $21.66 an hour. Gas, $40 a day, $200 after gas, and $20 spending limit. That spending the limit is, food, and then also I smoke cigarettes, so that, and then in the same sense, I had to stock up on, air freshener. I make sure that my car is aired out with windows down between rides, and also sprayed down by the time people get in. Only people that can tell that I've been smoking in my car are people who used to smoke. And that, like I said, that's random. That's dependent on themselves. It's not going to really draw down my rating that much. Probably could, but it is what it is. It's my car, not theirs, not Lyft's. Okay, so after the $20 spending limit, that leaves me with $200 a day times 30 days equals $6,000. Ride minimum would be $7.22. Max time between pickup and drop off 16 minutes. That'll be 3 rides an hour. Total time 48 minutes with 12 minutes wait time between rides and wait time at pickup. So we all know that some passengers, they don't come out, or they're not ready by the time you get there. Whether you're blowing a horn or calling, it doesn't matter. They're not ready. And this affects what we can make that hour, what we're going to make that day. And that really pisses me off. And I know it pisses off everybody else. Like, why would you book a ride? You're not ready and everything. Even though you hit the wait and save, don't come out to somebody's car talking about, oh man, I thought I had another 10 minutes and everything because I hit the wait and save. I'm not going to say anything to that individual. That's about all that you're going to get out of me. In most cases, when they start doing all of that, I say, okay, let me verify the address they're going to. And I say the address just to verify with them, because I'm not trying to listen to that bull crap. Dude, you knew what time, you knew you should have been ready. You already knew you should have been ready. They ain't charging you that much for wait time for you to be concerned about it. So you're just trying to give me some bullcrap, sappy story, and I don't want to listen to that. Hello, verify address. We're on the right road. I'm turning up my radio. I'm not trying to listen to all of that extra stuff. It's not putting money in my pocket. And if you were really sorry, you'd make sure that there's a tip that hit the app. I completed 8 trips today, and I only received 1 tip. And I have had some wait time at a lot of the pickups. So, and I hear the same thing out of these people and everything. My bad, that, and everything. And it's like, man, whatever. I mean, I'm tired of hearing that shit. Like, come on, man. How many times do you think I hear that all day? How many times do you think I hear, hey, can you stop at the store, man? It's only going to take me 2 minutes. How many times do you think we hear that crap? We hear it way too often to even care when you start to make that statement. But I always tell people, when people ask me to make the stop, I say, well, you remember, I'm like, what? I'm like, you're supposed to put it in the app so I can get paid for I'm like, you're supposed to put it in the app so I can get paid for it. But what I'm like, you want me to stop? I'm like, if I always just tell them, and I'm sorry, I actually stutter just like this when they say it because it pisses me off. It pisses me off. All of that. It's only going to take me 2 minutes. I'm going to throw you a tip on the app. No, you not. You lying, because if you put it in the app, it's only going to charge you $1 to make that stop. Maybe more if it's busy, but 9 out of 10, it's not busy, and they're only charging you $1 to make the stop in the first place. So again, when somebody asks me that, I say, you're supposed to put it in the app so I can get paid for my time burning my gas waiting for you at the store and everything. And people always say, well, I'm going to tip you on the app. All right. I'm like, I don't want to argue about it. You want me to stop? I'll make the stop. But Lyft's policy still is in place. You must take all your items out of the car at the stop. And when and I'll wait for you and everything. And they be like, man, no, man, you going to try to leave me and everything. Yeah, but if you leave stuff in my car, that also indicates that you're going to take longer than 2 minutes. It also indicates that you don't know how long it's going to take you, how many people are in line in the store and everything like that. So I can get held up, having to wait 5 or 10 minutes just for you to throw $1 tip on the app. Or honestly, bro, you may not even put a tip on the app. If you wanted to spend more money, you would just put the stop in there in the first place like everybody else does. But at the same time, sometimes I don't want to say that stuff. I just say, hey, I don't want to be responsible for your stuff. I don't like, people leaving stuff in the car and then trying to say I took it and everything. And people be like, oh man, it ain't even like that. I'm like, bro, you asked me to make a stop. I'm not getting paid for it, and I don't want to do this. Now I'm asking you to take your stuff, and now you just consistently are trying to tell me what to do in my car, and everything or whatever. But no matter what I say, no matter what I do, if I don't just shut up and do what they ask me to do and take that loss, not only take the loss in not getting paid for that stop, but take the loss in what I'm going to make that hour, what I'm going to make that day, what I'm going to make that week, and what I'm going to make that month because of this idiot. And that's the big frustrating part about doing this. It's those needy people. I've had people, hey man, you smoke? Hey, look, you think I can get a cigarette? Most of them don't even offer you any money. Some of them do offer you money, but come on, man, why are you asking me for a cigarette? Like, I used to buy a pack of cigarettes and it lasts me 2 days. Smoke 10 cigarettes a day. But now I'm up to where I'm smoking about a pack a day, sometimes more than a pack a day. And at the same time, when I give out a cigarette, I'm going to have to run back to the store, whether it's that day or the next day, because I'm down on cigarettes. People don't understand that if you are asking this question, there are 10 other people that ask the exact same thing. There are 10 other people that do the same thing. I'm not just doing one ride a day. If I was doing one ride a day, yeah, I might only hear that once a day. But if I do 5 rides, I've heard the same thing at least 2 or 3 times. But all in all, I plan to post my journey on this, and I hope that I can hit my goal at the end of the month. At the end of the week, and my daily goal each day. Because sometimes there are going to be bonus hours. It'll help me get ahead, and if I get ahead one day, hey, that's extra sleep time. Or, after a couple of days, extra sleep time, or maybe even maybe instead of me doing 7 days, maybe I only have to do 6 days. So, but I'm not factoring in when at the end of the day, I'm not looking at the total tip amount that I'm getting. I'm not factoring in any of that. All that is that's just helping me stay above water. It's helping me stay, reach my goal and achieve it, especially if I end up oversleeping or whatever. But I hate that these apps don't show you, the tip amount and everything. When you scroll through this stuff, they'll show it on like the weekly. I think they show it on the weekly. Okay, there it is. So you looking at this one right here, and this improves to people that passengers don't tip. I did 44 rides. I rejected 84 rides because I know that people are not going to tip. We're already picking people up for free. We don't get paid by the hour, and we're not getting paid to pick people up. So why should I drive excessive miles to pick you up? And this sucks for a lot of people because at nighttime, when there's less drivers out, you're going to wait longer for your rides because drivers already know people don't tip. Out of 44 people, only amount of tips I received was 5. Out of 44, people tip less in this than they do when they go to restaurants. But it's okay. It's okay if they don't tip. You know, tipping is an option, right? Well, that's cool. Well, I'm not driving 5 miles to pick you up either. I'll drive you I will drive 1 or 2 miles to pick you up with your 4.87 rating or your 4.3 rating. Yeah, I'll drive maybe a mile or two, but I'm not driving 4 or 5 miles to pick you up. I'm going to reject your ride. And if I'm 4 or 5 miles away from you and they're sending me your ride request, then that means the drivers that are 1 or 2 or 3 miles away from you, they already rejected your stuff. So now that they're trying to pull drivers way further away, yeah, you looking at waiting 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes before another driver logs online, decides to accept your ride request, or somebody that is rejected rides get a better offer to do your ride. But am I going to do it? No, not with your rating. So anyway, like I said, please like, share, subscribe. Put a comment down in the comment box. What do you think about what I've been saying in regards to my daily goal and whether you believe that I can achieve it, or if you think what would be your daily goal, what would be your weekly goal, monthly goal, and everything. But like I said, I did want to make sure I revisit one other detail again. The hourly amount, the goal is $21.66. So you want to make sure your calculator is already loaded up, and you want to make sure that you put your hourly goal in that box. Every time you accept a ride request, make sure that you subtract that amount, because you know that number, after you subtract what you made, you know that this number here is what is the remaining goal for that hour. And so you want to make sure that every time when you accept a ride, you want to make sure that you subtract that amount. Now, in this case, I only need to make $4.68. 2 things I could do. I could try to just look for that short trip, knock that out, and then take a break the rest of the hour, because I'm already at my hourly amount, my goal, and now I can just get a little bit of rest. You know, if I got 10 or 15 minutes left in the hour, maybe I could take a nap, a little power nap or whatever, or just, take a break from driving. And at the top of the hour, get back online and do it that way. All right. So you have that option to do that instead of just pushing straight through the hour. The best thing to do in the beginning of the week is that you go ahead and you push through, and hopefully you go over your daily goal that day. And so next day, your daily goal can go down because your whole weekly amount, you're trying to achieve a certain number. So it's not that big of a deal. But also, if you're going over your daily goal and say the next day or 2 days later, you're under it, you already have a day or two that you were over. So you're still on target. So you don't have to panic or anything like that. But my thing is that if I'm consistently looking at the total miles and the total time and what to pay out and $2 a mile and all of this and all of that, it's going to affect my end goal and what I can make. All right. So as a driver, you just need to pay attention to where you're driving. That's what you need to do. Pay attention to where you're driving and whether there are usually bonuses or not in those areas. Because like in my area right now, and I doubt it's changed since I last looked, but when I last looked, it wasn't that many bonuses being offered, area bonuses. Okay, they got a big area. So for me, if I was going to go ahead and take a ride right now, I would take a ride that's going east or southeast, and I can even take something that's going south. But as you can see, there's no point in me going west. It never is any point in me going west. I go west, I get stuck. I get stuck because I'm not going to find that many riders. It's always people going west. But it's hardly ever anybody requesting rides except for certain times of the day that are west and they're requesting a ride going east. I know for a fact if I go too far west, I am going to be stuck. I'm going to be stuck. So I know that right now, if I go east, like right there, all right, 8.7 miles. That means if I go 8.7 miles east, I don't want to go, if I accept another ride going west, I don't want to go any more than maybe 5-6 miles at the most. But I need to make sure that I keep myself in a box and I'm not just everywhere. You know, like whenever you set a radius on here, on the app, whenever you set the area radius and everything, whatever, that's going to put you all over the place. It's going to put you all over the place. And my goal, whenever I'm doing this, is to stay in that box. That's where I'm trying to stay at. And I messed that all up. But my box is right about there. That's where I'm trying to stay at. I'm not trying to, and I'm really not trying to go that far north or whatever, but I'm okay with it. And I know rides basically are in my market about right here. That's where all of the money is in my market. It's just like that. But really, like this area here, that's where the money is because of Amazon, and there's some plants up in that area. But as far as that, that's only certain times of the day. So you're only getting really 3 opportunities to make money up in that area, where if you drop off, you're going to have a pickup in that area. But outside of that, everything is going to stay inside of that box area. And so, again, getting too far over this way is just going to be an issue. So this video definitely went longer than what I wanted it to go. I wish I'd have had my words together and didn't kind of trip over myself, you know, that much or whatnot. But this is just on the top of my head. Kind of excited about it. Hoping that other people see this and they're like, you know what, good goal. I think I'm going to try to do that in my market. And hopefully it helps you as a driver as well. Appreciate you. Have a good one.